Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for waiting. So, thanks for having so many of you on such a last minute notice. I apologize that it took so long to get this to you, but I wanted to share. So all of the items that I'll be sharing today have been uploaded on the documents in collaborative tools on both the advisors and the program reps collaborative tools sites. They're all in the website folders. I had to delete some files that were corrupted, so the rest of them should be there. All the graphics are there, and I'll be going through some of the PDF documents that have the text and everything else, and kind of walking through setting up the web pages. But feel free to ask questions, and if you have any concerns or anything, let me know. Just unmute yourself and you can talk, or you can put it in the chat. Okay, so one thing I wanted to kind of go over is, let me move this. I'm working off of 3 screens right now. So I kind of wanted to go over, we did a county website audit in February and March, and it was mainly so we could see, so I could see where the websites were and where we were with branding, as well as different information that each website should have at the county level. So I wanted to share a few things with you, what we found. And, you know, don't feel bad, because actually the majority of sites are doing really well, and they have the majority of the information that you should have on your county sites. So I know how difficult it is to maintain the sites. So I just wanted to do a shout out and kudos to sites that already have 4-H Grows Here branding on their site. So there are 8 counties that included some form of branding of the 4-H Grows Here, either the logo or imagery or the video. There are 8 counties: Marin, Napa, Nevada, Sonoma, Stanislaus, Sutter Yuba, Tehama, and Ventura. So that's awesome. So thank you. I know we haven't been able to share a lot of where you should put what, and we're going to try and make it easier for you to maintain and update your websites by giving you these templates that you can then customize for your needs, and sharing images and sharing buttons with you. So now out of all 54 sites that we reviewed, the majority do have the basic checklist of information that I did share in the collaborative tools document section. I'll go over it really quick, but I wanted to note that 12 sites are not mobile ready, which means that your sites will not optimize or shrink down for different size screens. And I highly, highly recommend those sites, and I can contact you offline. I don't want to name the sites, but every site should be mobile ready. It's a feature you can set in your administrative site info and appearance. It's an option that you can select, and we should definitely have all of our county sites selected as mobile ready. It might change something, I don't know, because our site has always been mobile ready at the state level, so I don't know what changes when you change it to mobile ready, but I'm happy to work with you guys individually for those counties that don't have it. And one way you can tell if your site is mobile ready is to try shrinking your screen or checking it on your phone. Go on your county site from your phone or a tablet and see how it looks. If it looks like a giant site just shrunk into miniature size, then it's not quite mobile ready. Now, 10 sites did not have county staff contact info listed, and that's kind of an important way for people to reach you to get more information about 4-H and whatever else you're doing in your county. 18 sites still have to update their county staff list to keep it current. Sorry, can everybody mute their phones unless you have a question? Thanks. Now, as far as club information, I had put it out before that each county website should have information about what clubs are available in their county, including where they meet and what days and who to contact in the club. And that's because in order for people to enroll, they need to choose a club. So if you can give that to them ahead of time, you don't have to field that call necessarily on what clubs do you have available. The more information you can share about what you already have, then if they don't have a club in their area, they might want to start one. And we can talk at a future date about what kind of language we can add on county sites on if they don't have a club near them, what they can do, what their next steps or options could be. Anyway, so 11 sites don't have any clubs listed, and 15 sites don't have club contact information listed. No phone number, email, nothing. So there's no way for them to contact the club. And 17 don't have a listing of the projects offered in the county. So when, you know, we have hundreds and hundreds of projects they can choose from, but it varies by county. It doesn't have to be a complete list of projects. It doesn't have to be a final list of projects, but it could say like sample listing of projects currently offered in this county. And if possible, by club, because if one club doesn't have it, but another nearby club does, then maybe there's some way they can work it out to be able to be in both clubs and just go to one project in one club. I don't know. I don't want to say stuff that's not okay, but it might be a way for them to also share resources to say, hey, we have that project too, and those club leaders can also connect with each other, on the project leaders. So I did want to give a shout out to Marin County. So their county club page, from my son who is 17, we helped to review all of the sites for me. He said actually their site had the best listing of club information. So he thought that was the easiest to navigate. So I just kind of wanted to show it really quickly. And let me see. Let me see if I can. Okay, I'm gonna share. Oh. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Is that okay? Can you see the site for Marin? Hopefully. Well, I want to show what their county club site, community club site looks like, where it lists the general clubs and project clubs, explains what it is a little bit. And then they also created, if you click on the link, you can see each club has their own page telling when they meet, community club leader, enrollment coordinator. So it's an easy way to kind of see what they have, who their project leader contacts, so you kind of get a general sense of what kind of projects they're doing. And it's a good way for new members to come in and figure out what they want to be doing. Now, as you can see, they have this left menu, and the design I'm sharing with you does not have this left menu that I'm pointing to. Hopefully you're seeing my browser screen, because I'm trying to make it take as much advantage of the real estate on the web page. So sorry if you're new, can you please mute your phone when you come in so we're not hearing all the background noise? Thanks. So as far as the left menu, because these are already listed here as links, you wouldn't need the left menu to navigate to those. And I can answer more questions about that later, but that's kind of where we're going with the state site and what I would highly recommend. So I kind of want to go back into some best practices on websites, so you have some idea, and part of the best practices is what you should be considering having on your site. Sorry, can everyone please mute their phones? Thanks. There's a lot of noise. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to talk about best practices a little bit on how we're how to consider redesigning your sites or upgrading your sites or just doing little tweaks to your sites. Let's see. So I'm going to go back to the best practices and tips. So in general, like, as you know, if you go on a lot of websites, which I do, people don't read the websites. They kind of scan it to see if it has the information they're looking for. So as much as possible, try to use headers and bulleted text. Use shorter sentences and paragraphs. And that also helps, I'll talk about that later on. And you kind of want to format your content so it resizes when you resize it looking at it on a phone or a smaller screen like a tablet. The content will resize in the order of importance. So as I showed you when I shrunk the screens last time on the virtual brown bag, the text boxes will resize from left to right, with the left column will be at the top and the right column will go down below. And I'll show it in more detail when I'm going through how to set up your websites. One thing I'm noticing on our state side, which we're slowly transitioning, but you should be linking to PDF documents, not Word documents or Excel documents or PowerPoint documents. And I listed the reasons why this is a standard internet practice, because right now PDF documents can be viewed by any computer. So you don't have to have Microsoft Word or Excel or PowerPoint to view the document. And also the way Site Builder works, if you link to a PDF document, the document link it'll just bring it up like a web page. So you don't have to say download the PDF, just have the name of the link to the PDF, and it'll open like a web page and they can do a save. But if we have a Word document, if you've ever noticed on our Site Builder sites, if it's a Word document, it'll just automatically download, and it's not the name of the file. It's actually the way Site Builder works. It defaults to a file number that's in our file library. So then the user, it's not a great user experience right now, but they don't even know what the name of the document is, and then they gotta find it. So they have to remember what the file number was, or know to rename it, or know where they're saving it to. So it makes it a lot harder. And so if you have currently, you're linking to Word documents on your site, there is an option in Site Builder where you can click to change to PDF. Now, please make sure you have a backup of the Word document before you do this, and keep that on your server, off the web server, so that you can always make updates and changes to it as needed and recreate it as a PDF. But that way you don't have to re-upload a PDF. I have had an issue with a document that wasn't saved where I clicked the change to PDF button and it corrected the file and deleted the file, and I wasn't able to get it back. So that's why I'm saying make sure you have the backup before you click that change to PDF button. When you have images, when you're downloading these buttons or these images that we've shared on collaborative tools with you, add a description to it, and I'll go through it in more detail. And part of that is it meets ADA requirements because screen readers cannot see it. If somebody has vision issues, they're using a screen reader, it's going to read what's there and it'll read what the image is. It'll say image of whatever, boy in truck. Or what I'm saying to put is maybe if it's a button, say button to link to and whatever you're linking to, whether it's a page or to resources for volunteers, say. In Site Builder, it'll show the description as a caption if we select the caption box. So that's part of the instructions I'll be giving you. Now your text links, when you do a link, you should not have a link that says click here, because that doesn't tell the people what they're linking to. Again, that's an ADA compliant process thing. So what's recommended is to put the document's name or a description of what the link is. Not the URL, because that's not English, but it would be the document name. So instructions for logging into 4-H online for volunteers, instead of for instructions for logging into 4-H online, click here, and only click here is highlighted as a link. Because again, screen readers will not see what click here means. Now on use header formatting. I'm in both Word and in Site Builder. You have a way to choose your formatting for headers. And a lot of times we just bold it to signify it's a header, or we make the text larger to signify it's a header because it looks like a header. But instead of best practice and what you should be doing in both your Word documents and your on the web is to use that header feature, because it signals a hierarchy of the page. It signals to a screen reader. It's an ADA compliant thing. It signals what's the top top level information, secondary information, and third level information. So it organizes the content, and it also organizes the formatting on your page, so it's easier for a user to scan the page. As we said, people scan web pages, they don't just read a bunch of text. This is something we learned the hard way in the state site. You should delete old images and files, especially files from your file library if it's out of date, because those items are still searchable both in the website search and on a Google search. So if I search for enrollment forms, I might get enrollment forms from 2012 if it's still on your site. It can still come up. So if you do not delete it from the file library in your web server, then it can still come up on searches. And we're finding that out, and it's a long process because we have, I don't know, 6,000 items in our file server on the state site. So that will come up here and there, and it's a slow process for us to determine which items are out of date and which ones are still being used. So if you can go through when you're replacing a new document, delete the old one. Okay, so Stephen had asked for what you should have on your county site. So I created a checklist, or kind of a best, what I'm recommending that all county sites should have. If you have this basic information, we'll go over more detail later on more information in addition to this. But for now, the basics that we should all try to have on our site is the county information. So where your office is, how to reach you, and who to reach. Club and camp information. You know, what can I join? What options do I have? Military clubs, community clubs, spin clubs, after school clubs, camps that I can join for whatever time of year. And also for the clubs and camps, their club name, where they're located. As we saw on the Marin site, just to even say what city it's in a county helps. And then I can narrow it down from there. By getting more information, where do they meet? Because I have to know if I'm signing up, if there's something that fits in my schedule, and where and when they meet. If they meet on a Wednesday night, but I always have a certain class on Wednesday nights, then we cannot go on Wednesday nights. Is there something else nearby that we could do instead? Because we're addressing volunteers and both volunteers and new members who might not have any familiarity with 4-H yet to know what's required, but they know, oh, that I'm not going to be able to get there. So just that basic information helps. And because they have to know what club they're signing up for when they sign up in 4-H Online, a contact information for the club leader so that they can contact the club leader and see if they can say, hey, I'm interested in joining your club, and maybe finding out more information about the kind of projects offered, what is available for their child at whatever age level they're enrolling at, and what other things they need to know if they want to join that club. And I put it as optional because I understand it changes all the time and it's going to be fluid, but some clubs do the same projects every year. And you can always put a caveat at the bottom that says, you know, sample list of clubs offered yearly, you know, club project list can vary from year to year. But if it's a basic list that actually helps, like when we were, my son was interested in joining 4-H and we wanted to do archery. And I didn't understand that different clubs offer it, but not all clubs offer it. So I had no way to figure that out from going on the sites. And that's how, as a parent, we were mainly finding out about what's available and how to get started on the process. So, I'm sorry, somebody has a lot of background noise. If you can please mute your phone. Thank you. If you can help people learn how to join really quickly, what the basic steps are on their site, how to join, how to renew, then you don't have to take those calls. Sorry, I really need everyone to mute their phones, please. Thank you. Okay. having the link to 4-H online. Now, what I'm not sharing today is the member page, but you're welcome to copy what we have on the current 4-H state site for your member site, as far as the process and the links to the forms to renew and join. I can add those resources later, but today was the focus is on the volunteer information. So as far as the volunteer information, we'll be sharing all of this information with you today: how to become a volunteer, how to renew, the links for joining, renewing, links to the extension, links to the volunteer interest survey where you can put that on your site. And then what you can do optionally is link to the volunteer resources available on the State 4-H site. So you don't have to recreate it all on your site. And I have a note on how you can do that to link off your site and link back on. So okay, hold on. Okay, sorry, my chat didn't scroll, so I didn't see a whole bunch of chat information. Okay. Now for the about 4-H, I'm not going over that today either, but if you can put a brief description of the 4-H Youth Development Program, what 4-H is, maybe add the 4-H pledge, and optional of a 4-H history in your county. Not so much history of 4-H in the whole country, but how long 4-H has been in your county, how much it's grown. That would be of interest to somebody, both funders, partners, as well as supporters in your county who are interested to see what do you guys do and where are you and how long have you been around. I'm going to be updating the history on the state side to focus it more on this history of 4-H in California. But I highly recommend if you can that would be a great project for longtime volunteers to help pulling together the history of 4-H in the county to add on there. If they have pictures or things like that, that would be a fantastic project. And if you have projects and events, if you have your event calendar built in Site Builder, then include it on your homepage. You can and we are sharing from the state calendar to any calendars in all the counties. So we're including the deadlines calendar and the events calendar. So it'll show at least the state events, and then you can list your local county and club events there on your county site. And that way people will know what kind of projects you have doing, what you have coming up near them, and hopefully you can get added to event calendars and get some PR on it. Share your events, photos, and stories from social media, and you can also put a social media feed on your website. Pretty cool. You can talk to me offline if you want to do that, and we can do further instructions. So I listed a few FAQs here for you. I know I get often asked, can I add my own photos? We want photos from our county, which is great, but it needs to be a high quality photo because a grainy photo isn't going to help you. But we are trying to, I have to stress, we are trying to use the National 4-H imagery to tie into the National 4-H marketing campaign. This is a national campaign where they're getting media in print, in TV, and video, on the web, where they're getting stories, and they're using consistent imagery. It's being used in every other state also. So then you're being tied to the National 4-H campaign. So I highly recommend, if you can, to do so, to use what is there, and then you can also supplement like Marin did with showing each club and their activities and showing your event photos. That would be fantastic. Now I've been, another question is, can we copy the resources from the state website for your site? Yes, you can copy anything that's on our site. You can copy the text, you can copy the links. If you want button images, let me know which ones you want. I want to make it where we're all one. It looks like we're all one organization. So I want to increase the branding of that 4-H Grows Here. I want to tie everyone together. So you can still have your your county identity by the different events and things that you do, but we do want to have similar look and feel for all the counties, so that everyone knows this is a majorly well put together organization. Which, yeah, you can laugh, but you know, there's a lot of great things going on. So we're starting out with the template for the volunteer sites, and I will share what we have for the membership sites. And as we go through and I update the about us and things, then I'll be sharing those also. So this is going to be the beginning of an ongoing process to help you update your websites. And I'm sorry I can't do it all at once, but you know, there's a lot of other things going on too. So feel free to link to the site. And I put a note here. It says, if you want to link to it, put a note at the bottom that you're linking to the State 4-H website, and click the back button to return to this site, to the county site. So they know they're going off your site, and then make sure that you have the link opening in the same window. So that'll have it going back. Now, I was asked, do we have to follow the same navigation? Do I have to put a volunteer button? No, you don't. But I do recommend looking at how easy it is for someone to find basic information. And if they have to click and click and click and click, it's probably not very user-friendly. So consider, I am redoing the state website. As many of you know, it's very hard to find things. I'm trying to simplify how you find information. And you're more than welcome to follow that. Or if you want more one-on-one help on redoing the navigation on your county site, I'm more than happy to work with you. I'm working with the nutrition education side, and we're looking at standardizing that site also. So I'm more than happy to work with individual sites or county managers. So again, how can you get more help? Contact me via email. It's the best way to contact me, because I'm not a big phone person right now, because I'm online all the time. And we can set up a time to talk about what you're looking for help with. I'm more than happy to help you. I'm more than happy to work one-on-one with you, and we can do more Zooms or create some templates or share some resources that we might have on the state level that you might not have available at the county level. So I hope that's helpful. And then I wanted to share the other PDF document that is in there, we'll go into, is the county website template, or for what we're sharing with the county sites. Now, before I move on, do you have any questions about what I've shared on what the basic, what we're looking for? Okay, Claudia has a question. Is there a link with all the documents available? Yes, that's what this PDF is. And it has, the PDF has, the PDF is the county website template. It has the links there. It has instructions on how to set up each section. And I'm going to switch to show you my website screen. And for now, I made the county volunteer template instead of 2 pages. So to simplify it, I made it 1 page. So you'll have just 1 page to volunteer or re-enroll. If you prefer to split it up, you can, but I was trying to make it simpler so you don't have to set up multiple site builder pages, and you can just make all the changes on 1 page. Now, I mentioned before, you notice it doesn't have this left menu. It doesn't have that whole thing, because I wanted to take as much advantage of the full screen. Now, if I shrink this down, you can kind of see how it's going to look, where everything kind of lines up. And you're seeing what was in the left column, new volunteers comes up, and then what's in the right column, returning volunteers comes up. And then under returning volunteers is the resources. So all of that is there. This page is not live on the state site. This is, but you're welcome to copy the URL that's at the top if you want to copy straight from this site. But I did document it, and I'm going to share that with you also. Let me move this over. I'm going to share this whole desktop for now. So that I can pull over the, oops, okay. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share. When you're setting this up, in order to get it set up this way in Site Builder, the first thing you're going to go to is your properties when you're setting up your new page, and you're going to pick this layout with the column width 65-35, which is 65% on this side, 35% on this side. That's kind of how I was doing it. You did not see the Site Builder page. Okay, can you see it now? It's supposed to be sharing the whole screen. Sorry. Let me try it again. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was sharing the wrong screen. I'm working off of 3 screens. Okay. Okay, hopefully you see the right screen now. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so what I was saying is this is what your layout is going to look like if you want to have your page look like this. If you want to copy this almost exactly. You can copy this and then make your tweaks for your county. That is fine. All of the images and everything has been shared with you. Again, when you're setting up your properties, which would be here, then I'm saying to set up, as you can see here, you're going to select this. And actually, I had it 65-35, and like at 12:30 last night, I changed it. So let's switch this. This is going to be 50-50, because then I actually made it different. So sorry, you're going to have to make that change. And the left navigation here is hidden. What I did was also hide the link in the navigation. So it's not showing up in the left navigation menu for me because this is not a live page. So that way it won't show up in my left menu on any other pages that is showing a left menu. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, if you scroll down on your properties page, you have metadata keywords and metadata description. I didn't put anything in here because this is not a good page. This is not a live page. But what I suggest you put in there are words like enrollment, volunteers, 4-H, words that people would be searching for is basically what you want in your keywords. And why you want to do that is to make your page come up faster on searches. So Google, if somebody does a Google search, they'll see, oh, that's what it is. And I also suggest putting a description in this description area that is something that's on your page. So what's on this page right now is our volunteers are a key part, and that's all it has to be. Because then if you've noticed on Google searches, when you get a Google search, it'll show you the link and it has sometimes a short little description underneath. Then it'll show you what that little description, so people will feel like, oh yeah, I'm at the right place. So maybe, add your county name. Our volunteers in XYZ County are a key part of our youth development program. That would be an awesome way so they know, oh yeah, this is what I'm wanting. By volunteering, you're helping. It's like, oh, okay, so this is telling me how to volunteer. So then people know they're on the right place. So I'll let you put what you want in that description, but it should be what is already on the page, because if it's not, Google's not necessarily going to pull that. It might pull what from your page instead. So that's what it makes it important. Make it easier for them to search so you come up faster on searches. Because it doesn't matter how beautiful your web page is if nobody can find it. Okay, so again, going back to the content, and this is the PDF that I'm reviewing with you. So these are the parts of it. So you have text asset 1, text asset 2, 3, and 4. So I did outline all the different parts of it. So what I did was kind of talk about it, and you know, this might be hard to copy and paste into your text box. So if I'm creating my text box here and I'm putting it all in here, I would, here this tells me what image to put in. So I have to upload the image that I just downloaded from Collaborative Tools, choose my file, upload it, and do all of that. And so this is going to be like, okay, I have that in here. I'm going to stick it in here. I'm assuming that most of you have used Site Builder, so I'm not going through how to add in your image. But so here's the image, here's my text, this is how it's supposed to look. So you can highlight it and you can kind of see, oh, did I make it centered? It says to make that part centered. Yep, I have it centered, I have it bold, and I made it 125%. Okay, it's not a header, as you can tell, because this is just a message, so I didn't make it a header. And how I can also see what it's doing is it tells me here, it's not a header, it's a paragraph, and I have it strong, which is bold, and span means it's the formatting for centering. So you can always see what the formatting is at the bottom. Ways you can volunteer. Here it says ways you can volunteer should be under header 2. And it says here header 2, how you can find that is formats, headings, and you choose header 2. Header 1 is usually the name of the page. Header 2 is the next level of what the main things that you should know on this page, and so on. Because Site Builder has some specific formatting for each header level, I did kind of skip a little bit to header 4 instead of header 3, because header 3 has a box around it and things. So you can play with the headers. Just try to keep it in as much order. Okay, I have a question from Janelle that there has not been a Site Builder training offered since I was hired. And when I was told, they said they would not be offering any. Okay, so I understand. I was not trained either. They told me to try it out and figure it out myself. So that's what I've done since I've started. And I'm more than happy to do a Site Builder training to help you. And also part of my training will be about optimizing your site for searches and best practices to make it ADA compliant. So I'm more than happy to schedule a training for county staff because I think we all need that support. So we can look at scheduling it sometime down the road. Okay, but for now, I'm just gonna walk through as if people on this call are familiar with Site Builder, and I broke it down as much as I could for now. Okay, so let's see. So ways you can volunteer, like again, it has a header. I told you what it should be. On the image, okay, so I didn't put it on that one. On the images, you see these are all images. Boom, 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 boom. Those are my file numbers. It will not be your file numbers. When you upload it, you're gonna have file numbers based on when you uploaded it into your file library in your county site. So ignore all of that on my site right now. But I put down here what your settings should be when you upload your files. So when I upload a new file, this is what I will see. So I can say, so I'm going over this one, this teach a skill, because that was the first image I had up there. So teach a skill green. So, oops. Lead a club green, sorry. A little confused. So I'm going over this one. So I have my file name. I'm gonna put in a description. This is what I meant by putting in a description for images. Always have some kind of description there. What I'm using this for is not as a button, but as just an image. And right now I put down here align left wrap text, because you can choose. The default is center. So I put align left wrap text and I click caption. If you put caption, and that's what it says here, if you put caption, then this is what will show up underneath the button, as you could see here, right here. So all of that is in here. What happens if you also put description, as you can see on the screen there, when I hover over the image, I see true leaders aren't born, they're grown, which is what is the image. That's what I put in the description. So when you don't have it showing as a caption, when you hover over it, it'll show you what it does, what the image is. So this one should say returning 4-H volunteer process. This one is new volunteer process. So whoever is not, so I know it's not a button, you know. Here I have it as a button. So go to the 4-H online login page. Link to the extension login page. So all of that is in my descriptions. And so here is the description of the settings, and this is the text and the image. So hopefully that'll help you go through and add all of those items. And this is just for the text box 1, which is this top text box. And you can always, you know, after you go in here, update my asset. I made changes. If you make changes in here, you update your file, update your asset, and then you can always do a view current site. So you can see if the changes you made look right. And before you make it live, you can always keep it not live, which is kind of nice. And before you click yes, activate. So as you can see, this page is not activated. So the public cannot see this page yet until I make it live. But if you, because I'm saying, yeah, if you have this URL, sadly, you can look at it. I don't know. It's a fun thing for Site Builder. So I do the same thing for all the other text assets. As I outlined here, this is text asset 2 is here, which is here, 3 and 4. So it tells you what to put for the text, how it should be formatted. The default is paragraph unless you select some other formatting. Are there any questions so far on all the text that you have here and how to format it? And you can unmute yourself if you rather talk or if you rather put a chat. Do I have a link for the finished page? I can share it with you. It is here. It's not a live page because I just laid it out, but it is 4-H volunteer lowercase / county _ volunteer _ template. So you're welcome to copy that. At the bottom here, I have the links for the buttons in the volunteer resources, so you can add those links. This is all in the PDF that's been uploaded. All of these images that you see here have been uploaded, as well as a few extra images that we had on our volunteer page. So this is the state volunteer page. I uploaded this image for you. I also uploaded an image we had, I think, on our members page. And we believe in the power of young people. And you're welcome to copy how we did this page. Oh, yeah, I can put a link for the finished page in the chat. What a good idea, gee. Let's see. Okay. Let me see how I can do it. Are there any other questions on what I can do to help you get this page up and running on your county sites? Does anyone have any questions on what resources? Oh, thank you, Joanne. I'm glad you're finding it'll be easy. I'm hoping I laid it out. We can schedule a site builder training. As I said, this is just the beginning. This is basically on just the county volunteer pages. And you're welcome, if you want to include this language, you're welcome to do that. I will be redoing, our member page was redone, so I can also share that one also. These links on as far as project areas would be different for you, so it would be a totally different kind of look probably for your county. But something you can also do is add videos. We have videos on our, what do you call it? It's not opening. Okay, I guess it just opens on mine because I'm in it. Sorry. The template is in CT as far as, sorry, I'm answering text before I finish talking. The template is in CT, it's in here. This PDF document that says county website volunteer page. So this tells you how to set up the properties page and how it should look. And it has all the text. So hopefully that'll help you, and I can add screenshots of what the current page looks like, and I'll add another PDF of screenshots of the current page. So hopefully that will help. You won't be able to copy and paste the text from the screenshots, but you do have the text here. Okay, I will add screenshots and add that. Going back to what I was saying, we do have a YouTube channel, and we do have general 4-H videos you're welcome to link to, like this one is, in your websites. Videos are a great way to tell stories, and it also brings you up higher on searches because, everybody likes interactive and video content. So if you want to do a video of just this basic one, 4-H Grows Here, join us. You're welcome to use that. You're welcome to use any of the videos from that page. So whatever I have on our state site, you're welcome to use it on your county site. Don't feel like you can't use it because it's on the state site. Because a lot of times, families will go to your county site. When they meet you and they're at your event, you tell them to go to your county site. So they're not necessarily going to see the state site. But even if they do, they'll see, oh, it is the same thing. It's the same program because you have the same images. So as I go through and start changing the navigation on our state page and start cleaning up the content so you can find it easier. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of doing the volunteer resources, so it's a little messed up right now. I apologize, but it's getting there. And part of it is I'm getting rid of tables. We used a lot of tables to format our pages in order for things to display correctly, but tables do not resize to smaller screens. So it'll make it harder for people trying to access the information off of their phone or tablet. And more than 60% of people first get on internet sites on their phone or tablet. And we're finding that even in my Google Analytics. So I'm really happy you guys are finding it easy to follow what we have here. Are there any questions so far on doing any of this or being able to access any resources? Okay, well, again, feel free to email me if you have offline, if you have questions. I did have a question from someone who does not have access to collaborative tools. So Teresa, I will contact you separately and I'll share the resources with you. And if any of you have other staff who need to have access to these resources, I can find a way to get it to them. Maybe I can put it on the Google Share, the Google Drive. For now, I'm putting in collaborative tools, so as staff changes, they can see what resources are there if they need to use them. So if there's a better way that you guys want to get it, let me know. And I'm more than open to hearing more feedback on what we can add or how we can change it, or if you need to change anything, and what you're needing. So please, please, please don't feel bad about emailing me, because I do want to hear from you and what you're needing. Oh, Joanne asked one last question. Is there a standard name to call the page? I would call it something very intuitive. Membership or volunteer. Become a 4-H volunteer. I'm trying to keep my menu names really simple. So it's, as you can see, it's home, about, get involved, members, volunteer, programs, you know. So whatever works for your county, because every county, we noticed, calls it differently or has it differently. And I'm not trying to change your whole county site right now, but I'm just trying to give you some tools so that you can have some clear templates to follow. So hopefully that helps. And thank you again for joining me at the last minute. This will be recorded and it will be shared later today. Okay, thanks everyone.